In 2008, deep within Abu Kamal, Syria, 4 helicopters sliced through the skies, 2 Black Hawks packed with CIA operators from the Special Activities Division and Delta Force operators. They were shielded by a pair of AH-6 Little Birds, all making a beeline for the Syrian border near Al-Qaim. And their mission? Well, they were on a hunt to eliminate a certain someone. And that man was Abu Jahadia. He wasn't a widely recognized figure, a roughly 30-year-old Iraqi who commanded the biggest foreign fighter network in Syria. He supplied fake passports, safe hideouts, weapons, and funding to militants located on the Syrian side of the Iraqi border. These resources were used by the fighters before they made their way into Iraq. Throughout the Iraq War, Syria was often said to be a transit point for foreign fighters heading into Iraq to take on the US coalition. The militants and their support networks were operating freely in Syria, and the Syrian government wasn't making sufficient efforts to control the situation. These militants flew into Damascus and then, with the help of established networks, found their way into Iraq through the Syrian border. The Syrian president, Bashar al-Assad, didn't agree with these claims. While he admitted that a few militants did enter Syria via Damascus International Airport without the knowledge of Syrian authorities, he insisted that most of them came into Syria from neighboring countries' borders. At the peak of the Iraq War in 2006 and 2007, the Joint Special Operations Command, responsible for elite units like the Army's Delta Force and the Navy's SEAL Team 6, figured that Abu Jahadia was helping around 120 to 150 foreign fighters get into Iraq every month. For months on end, these fighters just kept pouring into Iraq. The trick to keeping an eye on Abu Jahadia was having a spy in his camp and using signals intel collected by a JSOC agent who went undercover in the area several times. This went on for quite some time. The task force knew he'd sometimes swing by Iraq to keep up appearances with the fighters, but his regular residence in the area was a safe house in Sakaraya, a village close to Abu Kamal, just a short 6-mile hop across the border from Al-Qaim. That's where the Black Hawk helicopters were headed. They'd been getting ready for the raid for a solid 9 months. The raid turned out to be the sole publicly acknowledged example of an exceptionally effective undercover operation conducted by JSOC units within Syria since the early stages of the Iraq War. The spy in Abu Jahadia's camp needed to confirm the target's presence at the safe house, and Abu Jahadia's cell phone had to be active and traceable from that spot. There were a few unsuccessful attempts, but everything fell into place on October 26, 2008. The task force had roughly 36 hours to get ready for the mission. Once they crossed the border, the flight to their target took no more than 15 minutes. In the little village near Abu Kamal, there was this one-story building with a flat roof, which was the target building. Strangely enough, the helicopters didn't come under fire as they got closer. The Black Hawks landed nearby and the operators dashed to the building. They quickly took control, dealing with Abu Jahadia and a few of his fighters in just a minute and a half, neutralizing about 6 to 12 militants. Following the operation, the team spent around an hour doing what they call sensitive site exploration, which is all about collecting valuable intelligence material. When they wrapped up, they radioed for the Black Hawks to return and put Jahadia's body on a helicopter and headed back to the Al-Assad airbase in Iraq. However, there was a surprising turn of events after the operation. The Syrian government officially denounced the raid as an act of aggression and viewed it as a clear violation of their sovereignty. The Americans justified their actions as self-defense, based on Article 51 of the UN Charter, claiming that they believed Syria was harboring insurgents. US intelligence had been onto Abu Jahadia for months and even years. They'd been pursuing the Syrian government to either hand him over, capture him, or take him out. The Syrian government pushed back on these claims, calling them lies from the United States. They also accused American soldiers of breaking international law and violating Syria's sovereignty. They also claimed that the soldiers had taken the lives of 8 innocent civilians and a married couple. However, people who saw it happen said they only spotted 7 bodies. US officials insisted that everyone eliminated in the raid was connected to Abu Jahadiya, the mission's main target. A local witness mentioned that they saw at least 2 guys being taken away by the American forces. Iraq found itself in a tricky situation. They aimed to maintain a friendly relationship with Syria, but also needed to stop those who were suspected of causing trouble in Iraq from coming through Syria. On October 30th, 2008, a massive protest unfolded in Damascus, with thousands of Syrians taking to the streets. They proudly displayed their national flags and held banners that read, "No to US aggression on Syrian soil," and "The American aggression won't achieve its goals." But let us know what you think in the comments section below. If you found this content entertaining or helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this one. And thanks for watching.